Hello, class 5 students. Welcome back to our science class. So today we are going to discuss the last part of chapter 7, that is natural resources of the earth. So you can all turn to page 59 to 73. Now students, in our last class, I have shown you a Ranthambore National Park. And today I told you that we are going to see more national parks and also the wildlife sanctuaries in Nagaland, right? So let's get started. Now, the second national park that we'll discuss is Gir National Park, GIR. Now you can see here, right? So do you know, students, this Gir National Park is located in which state? It's located in Gujarat. Okay, Gujarat. So it looks as if now we are in Gujarat, right? So students, this Gir National Park is very important because here we find many endangered wild animals. Now when we say endangered animals, it refers to those animals who are in the verge of extinction. Okay? Those wild animals whose numbers are not more. We have less numbers of those animals. So they has to be protected. That's why we have these different types of national park. So this Gir National Park is located in the state Gujarat. In here we'll find many endangered wild animals. Now students, the next national park will be Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga National Park. Now students, here we'll find different types of animals here. Okay, now do you know where it is located? It is very near to our state. It's our neighboring state, Assam. Okay, it's located in Assam, Kaziranga National Park. Now students, here, this national park that we are going to discuss, it is in Tanki National Park. And do you know where this national park is located? In our own state, Nagaland, in Tanki National Park. And do you know in which district it is located? In Peran district, in a beautiful Peran district. Okay, so it is located in Peran district. Here, even in this national park, we see many endangered animals are protected. Okay, now the next important thing that we are going to discuss is about this species, about this animal. Now in Tanki National Park, is very famous for this golden langur. Okay, so this we will find in Tanki National Park. So this is a very interesting, right? You can have a look at our friend here, golden langur. So we'll find all these animals where in Tanki National Park. Okay, and not only this, but we'll see different types of animals. Now, the next wildlife sanctuary that we are going to discuss is Rangapahar Wildlife Sanctuary. Rangapahar Wildlife Sanctuary. It is located in Dimapur, Nagaland. Okay, so these wildlife sanctuaries, like whatever now I'll show you, these are all located in Nagaland. Okay, so this Rangapahar Wildlife Sanctuary is very famous. A tourist attraction place, okay, and it is located in Dimapur, Nagaland. Next, we have a Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary. A Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, this we find in our own state, Nagaland. And do you know which district? Do you know in which district we'll find this Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary? In Kifri district. Okay? in Kifri district, near, you'll see here it is located near Mount Saramati. Okay? So students, it is very good, right? We have many wildlife sanctuaries in our state. We have national parks as well, right? So now, again, the wildlife sanctuary that you can see here, it is Puliebadze Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay? Puliebadze Wildlife Sanctuary. And do you know where it is located? It is located in our state capital, Kohima. Okay? So students, let's recall the wildlife sanctuaries that we have in our state, Nagaland. We have this Puliebadze Wildlife Sanctuary. We have Rangapahar Wildlife Sanctuary. We have Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary. We have Tanki National Park, right? Okay, so students, we have discussed about this flora and fauna. Now, the fifth natural resources that we are going to discuss is about fuel. Now, fuel, this is very important natural resources. Okay. Now, what do you mean by this fuel? Now, when we say fuel, it refers to power. It refers to energy, which is produced from burning. Okay? And we have different types of fuel, as I have shown you here. We have a solid fuel, we have a liquid fuel, and we have a gaseous fuel. And all the solid, liquid, and gaseous fuel are important. We're dependent on it. And the country who have a rich deposit of all these natural resources are considered to be very strong, very rich country. Now students, a solid fuel, example, the wood you can see here, wood, kuri. Okay, in Nagamese we say kuri. It is very important, right? At home, every day we are familiar. We make fire for cooking, right? Because it keeps our body warm. In order to cook, we need heat energy. And that we get from wood. Now, let's discuss about a liquid fuel. Now, when we say liquid fuel, we have a petrol, a diesel, right? We have LPG. And we know they are on high demand. The prices are rising every day, right? Now, the third type of fuel, it's a gaseous fuel. We have a biogas from the animal excreta. We have CNG, right? So those are some examples of the solid fuel, the liquid fuel, and the gaseous fuel. When we say a solid fuel, we not only wood, but we also have coal, charcoal, cow dung. So these are also considered to be solid fuel. Now we will see their importance. Yes. So now we will discuss about coal. Now coal, like I've said, it is a solid fuel, right? Now students, coal, do you know the important uses of coal? Let me show you. So students, coal as a fuel, it is used for running engine. It is used for cooking. It is used for producing electricity in a thermal power plant. It is used for producing steel in blast furnace. So these are some uses of coal as a fuel. Now let's see the uses of coal in industries. Now students, coal is also used for making many important medicines, drugs. It is also used for making plastics. Okay? Now coal is also used for making cosmetic. It's used in the field of cosmetic dyes. Okay? So students, these are some uses of coal as a fuel and in the field of industries. Now let's discuss about the uses of petrol and diesel, and let's see how important they are. Now see, students, we can see here a liquid fuel, petrol and diesel. Now, this is a very important natural resources. They are non-renewable. Now, these natural resources cannot be renewed. And these natural resources here, petrol and diesel that you see here, they are on high demand. Every day, we hear about the increase of price, right? So students, they are very important because they are used as lubricant oil for cars, trucks, vehicle, many other cars, bus, right? And also students, without petrol or without diesel, we cannot use our cars. Because by burning this, we get the mechanical energy. It produces mechanical energy and it produces kinetic energy, which means energy in motion. Okay, so students, we are dependent on this. And just like coal, this petrol and diesel are also used in industrial purposes for making plastic, for making wax, dyes, etc. Okay? So students, we have discussed about fuel. And we have discussed the importance of coal, which is a solid fuel. We have discussed importance of petrol and diesel, which is a liquid fuel. Now students, we will discuss about our next natural resources, that is soil. Soil. So this will be our last natural resources. Now soil, students, we have discussed in our lower class about the soil as well, right? The types of soil as well. But do you know what this soil is composed of? This soil is composed of organic matter. If we see here, we'll see organic matter. It is also composed of rocks, minerals. Okay? So this soil, soil is also known as mati. So soil, it is composed of organic matter, decayed matter. It is also composed of rocks, minerals, etc. Okay? So students, soil becomes very important because plants, they grow here, right? Without soil, there won't be plants. And you know how we are dependent on plants for our food, for clothes, for medicines, and many other purposes. So students, we should protect the soil as well. Okay? Now students, we should plant more trees Okay? We should plant more trees. Now, students, it is very important to plant more trees because if we don't plant more trees, what will happen? When we face a bad weather or when we get a heavy wind, the soil erosion will take place. The degradation of soil will take place. Okay? So students, we have learned all the 6 natural resources of the earth in this chapter, right? We have discussed in detail about the rocks, we have discussed about minerals, we have discussed about water resources, we have discussed about the flora and fauna, right? We have discussed about fuel. And the last natural resources that we discussed was about the soil. So students, our last topic would be conservation of natural resources. Now students, it is very important to protect our natural resources and conserve our natural resources. Now when we say conservation, dear students, when we say conservation, it means we are taking a step. We are taking a step further to protect our natural resources. Now, students, we should not be selfish. These natural resources, as we have discussed, we have renewable and non-renewable. Now, one example of non-renewable natural resources is petrol, right? If it is used up, if it's over, means over. If there is no petrol in this earth, then we cannot use car. We cannot use car without petrol, right? So students, since there are many non-renewable resources, so we have to protect and take a step towards conservation of natural resources. Okay? Now students, your age. These are some pictures which have been shown by students who are in 5th standard. Okay? This is about conservation of natural resources. So you can see here, protect our planet, save natural resources, right? And the other one here, we can see here. So these are all a sample, okay? These are all drawn by your friends. So students, now you have learned how it is important to protect our natural resources, right? So we have to spread awareness. You can be the change, right? Now students, we have to think about our future generation. If we use up our natural resources today, then what about our future generation tomorrow? What will happen to your children? Right? So students, we should use the natural resources wisely. Okay? And students, the best method that we can apply to conserve these natural resources is 3 R's, right? That is reuse, reduce, and recycle. Okay? The 3 R's, remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay? Now when we say reduce means to save energy, students, instead of taking a car, you can just walk sometimes, right? For a short distance, we don't need to take car, right? We can walk by saving energy. Okay? Now students, if we say reuse, I can give you example, okay? So instead of using paper bag, what we do when we purchase something, we put paper bag and then we throw that paper bags, right? We can use one bag, which we can use it again, right? Now when we say recycle, students, all this paper, all this plastic, they can be recycled. Okay? So students, this is a very easy method. And since you have learned about the importance of natural resources, I'm sure you will apply this. I'm sure you will take this step, you will take measures. Okay? So students, that comes to the end of this chapter. In our next class, we will start with our new lesson, which will be very interesting. Thank you.